What's going on, you beautiful, amazing people from all over the world? Thank you so much for making that decision to spend some time with your boy. I appreciate that. Weekly rotation videos. I know I don't do them that often. However, this week was so diverse and so dynamic when it comes to what I wore. I mean, we're talking sweet fragrances, spicy fragrances, woodsy fragrances, even powdery fragrances. I was all over the place. I almost said we. Were we all over the place? Let me know what you wore this week. But I know I was all over the place with these fragrances, and I cannot wait to share what I wore this week with all of you. So stay tuned. We're going to get in the list right after this. Thank you for staying tuned. I do appreciate that as well. If you are new here, my name is Dave. This is Cali's Groom Room, and on this channel, we talk about all things men's grooming and fragrance related because my goal is to have you the best looking, the best smelling you that you could possibly be. So if that sounds good to you, consider subscribing to the channel. But while you're here, do me a quick favor. Like, comment. Let me know what fragrances you were wearing this past week. I would love to know. I really would. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. With all that out of the way, let's hop into this list and take you back to not this past Saturday, but the previous Saturday. So we're going to go from the previous Saturday and conclude to this past Sunday. Sounds confusing, but stick with me. It'll all make sense. I promise. So when it came to the previous Saturday, not this past Saturday, but the previous Saturday, like I was just saying, I wanted to experience iris. I just wasn't sure if I wanted a darker style iris or if I wanted a powdery style iris. You know, something a little bit more fresh. Now, what I did was I let my dogs out in the morning, which I do most mornings, and I said, whoa, it's colder than a mofo out here. It was like -2 degrees, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to go with the darker side of iris, and that's why I pulled out and I wore Dior Homme Parfum. Now, admittedly, I don't talk a lot about this fragrance on my channel, only because it's hard to find, you know, and also I don't really talk a whole lot about discontinued fragrances. I do own a few, but again, I don't really like talking about discontinueds that much for obvious reasons, but oh my God, this stuff is freaking beautiful, man. The iris opens up, it's waxy, lightly powdery. It's got that makeup kind of a vibe to it, you know? But there's also things that accompany this iris that really stand out to me and that really strike me. You definitely have some woods in here. Again, like I said, you know, this is a darker style fragrance. You definitely have some woods in here. It's a bit slightly resinous in the base. You have, I know oud is credited. Don't really smell a whole lot of oud. I get lots of leather here. Leather, rose. It's a beautiful, delicate, faintly detectable rose, right? So that iris stays with you from top all the way to the dry down. You experience it for the entire life of the fragrance. Great performer. This is the 100 milliliter tester bottle that I bought on fragrancenet.com. Sorry, words. But anyway, yeah, picked up this 100 mil. Now, I know there's a lot of talks in the community about this being reformulated and things like that. I still get great performance out of this. I can't really speak to the older formulations and stuff like the 75 milliliter bottles and whatever came before that and batch codes and years and all that. This is the only one I've ever tried. So this is all I know. And for me, it's a great smell. It's a fantastic performer. One that I absolutely love to wear. Wore this in the office. I enjoy wearing it in the office. Honestly, I think this is a dressy style of fragrance. That's at least what I'm envisioning in my mind, to convey the message to you. Also, this is a perfect cool weather to cold weather date night fragrance. This stuff is excellent. And if you could find it for a good price, don't go crazy and spend those outrageous, $200-$300. That's ridiculous. If you could find this right around that $100 or so dollars, like whatever you feel comfortable with, pull the trigger. Of course, anytime they pop up, whether it be fragnet.com or fragrancebuy.ca, I will list that in the community tab. So pay attention there when they do pop up. I will try to stay on top of that and get it out there to you guys. But anyway, Saturday, I rocked Dior Homme Parfum. All right, so Sunday, I was like, I was torn. Like I had said, with Saturday, I was torn, between those two fragrances. Did I want to go powdery? Did I want to go dark? Now, since I went with the dark iris one day, I was wanting to still experience more iris on Sunday. So I went for the fresher side of iris, the powdery side. I went with Prada L'Homme. Freaking phenomenal. I love this stuff. It gets high praise. You guys probably, a good majority of you probably know this fragrance, but it opens up very bright, very fresh. The whole fragrance, the whole aura about it is very, very fresh. You have this great powdery iris note. I know there's lots of other notes that they list too, these other florals and woods and stuff like that, but honestly, the most prominent note to my nose, what sticks out, is this powdery iris and what it does to this this particular composition. So what it does to me and the way it behaves and acts is like fresh, clean clothes. If you were to spray it on your clothes, you're going to smell like fresh, clean laundry. You spray it on your skin, you're going to feel right out of the shower like shower fresh, you know? What an excellent one this is. Another one, again, Sunday I was in the office, so rock this one in the office. Prada L'Homme is just fantastic. And it's one of those versatile fragrances. You know, I know oftentimes, at least when I speak about winter, you know, for the majority, I am pulling out darker style fragrances, which I do have darker style fragrances here for sure. The last one I showed you, in fact, was on the darker side of the spectrum in terms at least of iris. But this one here is one of those versatile fragrances that whenever you're in the mood for a fresh, like uplifting type of fragrance that you want to spray on, you want to smell fresh and clean, whether it be going in the office, whether it be casual or however else you want to wear it, you really can. It's a great, versatile, all year round, in my opinion, style of fragrance, and I absolutely love it. It's Prada L'Homme. Check it out. All right, Monday. Monday's an exciting day because a couple days prior, right, I received my my order in from Lucky Scent, which contained this fragrance here that I'm going to be talking about in a second. And I was so excited, you know, to unbox it and to try it on. So I sprayed a couple sprays on skin just before bed. I wanted to test drive it, and I was like, yes, immediately going in to the weekly rotation. That's how good this fragrance is. This is from the house of Piotr, Czarnecki. This is called Shihan. This fragrance here is one that you don't really hear come up that often. My God, is this stuff so good. It's so good. It's so me. It has like every note that I love except vanilla. So, but anyway, oh man, it's so good. Anyway, this one here, to me, the main notes here, coffee, whiskey, tobacco, is really what it's known for. Now, I get something interesting in this fragrance. They don't credit woods at all, I believe. There wasn't anything, at least, that I could find that contained a woody note or something that would give off that type of a vibe within the fragrance breakdown. You know, the notes breakdown, excuse me. But I get some kind of a woody vibe here. And what it reminds me of, the woods, just the way the wood is possibly used here, you know, because not always do they include every single note. So what I'm thinking is there's this woody accord going on here, right? And what it reminds me of, if you guys have ever been to a home, like a home that was built maybe in the 1800s, and you can smell that old wooden floor, you know, I love that smell. I don't know about you guys, but faintly, but I get that here. I get that in this fragrance. And like I said, there wasn't a note breakdown out there that I could find. Maybe you guys could find it and say, hey, it was this. I couldn't find anything that would say that this would give off that type of a vibe. But my God, is this stuff freaking phenomenal. I love it. It's great. This is one, you know, I don't really care to talk about performance in these type of videos or list videos, but this is one, it's not going to fill a room, right? So you're not going to have to worry about, because it's a lot of heavy, a lot of thick, dense notes in here, but you're not going to have to worry about walking into a room, choking people out, stuff like that. It wears very moderate. You know, it's got moderate projection, moderate sillage. You're going to get anywhere between that 6 to 8 hour mark, at least in my testing so far. That's what I've experienced. You are for sure going to hear a full review of me speaking more and giving more praise to this fragrance because I absolutely love it and nobody's talking about it, so it's unique in that sense. But a great one from the house of Piotr, Czarnecki, Shihan. Fantastic stuff. Please let me know down below if you've ever tried this fragrance. I would love to know. All right. So Tuesday was another casual day for me, and I just kind of wanted to get under my girlfriend's skin. You know what I mean? I really wanted to get under her skin. I was still emotionally beat down from that, you know, top 10 fragrances that she didn't like, or 10 fragrances that she didn't like. You know, you can go catch that video if you haven't watched it. Hilarious, good, you know, humor, just fun sort of banter that Jessica and I always do. But I wanted to irritate her on Tuesday. So I let her pick out my scent of the day choice, and I said it was between two fragrances that she didn't like, and she picked this one for me. Of course, she picked Guerlain's Ideal Extreme. I love this stuff. I really do. Thank you. I've been saying cherry for the past year. I still get cherry vibes out of this. I know it's plum. Thank you to the person that corrected me in the last video. I know it's plum, but I get more cherry out of this than plum. Again, with that story, you know, I do detect aldehydes in here. I keep smashing my elbow. I'm going to have like black and blue marks galore tomorrow, you know. But anyway, such a great fragrance. You have that hint of almond, you know, that this line, the EDL line, is known to have. So you have that here. It's a nice, somewhat gourmand, but this is, you know, a casual fragrance. This is great to wear, you know, casual in your leisure, whether it be like running errands and things like that. This is great for that. And I do wear this in the office, you know, admittedly. I do wear it in the office when I want something a little bit more fun and playful. That's when I reach for this. And it's a great wear. I love the spiciness here, possibly coming from some cinnamon. So great, warm, spicy fragrance. I also do find this to be very cozy and comforting as well. Let me know if you've tried this. I would love to know if you've tried it. But Guerlain Ideal Extreme, great, great winter fragrance here. Love this stuff. Again, we're going back to that powdery theme, right? Somewhat powdery with this fragrance here. So Wednesday, I get in the mood for it once in a while. I know I said overrated before. I know I said possible. You know, I said that this possibly may have been reformulated, but I was in the mood still to wear Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme from Chanel. Stuff, I gotta say, as much as I criticized it, why the hell did I spray it all the way out there? Let's get, there we go. It's 100 milliliters anyway. Never going to use the whole friggin' bottle, at least not for another 4 or 5 years, so who cares? But I still enjoy the smell. No, you know, admittedly, it's not the beast it once was. You're not getting that, you know, 12, 14 to 16 hours that you used to get. I'm a bit exaggerating there, but who cares? 6 to 8 hours is what I'm getting. Now, the day that I wore this, you know, Wednesday, this was pushing more towards that 8-hour mark, okay? Great fragrance still. I still think it smells great. All the other stuff, take that for what you will, but I won't ever take away the fact this stuff doesn't smell great, because it does. It absolutely does. At least to me it does. You have that nice lemon in here. But for me, it's that dry down, because that dry down is where things get powdery, they get creamy. You know, I believe they're using a trifecta. Where's my college basketball fans out there? Dickie V, Dick Vitale, he made that line famous. Trifecta, baby. But anyway, you have that trifecta blend. I'm going to guess that it's coming from creamy sandalwood, tonka bean, and vanilla. Hopefully you guys like that impression. But man, this stuff is so fantastic. A great one too for the office. It's kind of goes in that reach of dumb reach kind of territory. At least for me, that's kind of the vibe that I get here. But yeah, once in a while I get in the mood to wear this, and then when I do, and I experience that smell, I really do enjoy it. I still love the way this stuff smells. Is it the beast like I said that it once was? No, but you know what though? Sometimes we can take the good with the bad, and in this case I did when I wore Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Or Eau Extreme. Tomato, who knows? Man! Well, son of a biscuit. Now, I'm going to be labeled as a hypocrite, because now I am going to talk about a discontinued fragrance. Maybe I should go back to scripting my stuff so I know what to say and what not to say, but I went with the discontinued gem. I went with Paco Rabanne 1 million Privé. Why the hell did you guys discontinue this? Seriously, like, what was a good enough reason for you to say we need to strip this from the market? Seriously, guys, I got another message for you. Just like what I said about Dior Homme Parfum, do not pay $199 plus for this. Absolutely not worth it. Around the $100 price point, you're still overpaying, but at least that's a much easier pill to swallow than that upwards of $200 that this little guy is fetching. Actually, it's the 100 milliliter bottle that's fetching those kind of prices. But here, it's a nice tobacco. It has that herbal type of tobacco tone to it, but it's sweetened. And the way that it's sweetened oftentimes, actually always, reminds me of warm apple pie. Just the way, I believe it's cinnamon is used here in that sweet base from the 1 million DNA. The way that it kind of plays off of each other does come off, to me at least, as a warm apple pie. And I know many others. I'm not the only one that thinks that way, but this definitely gives off that apple pie sort of a vibe. But again, very warm, very cozy, a little bit more on the playful side. But you want to talk about attention? I know it's an overrated topic. I'll be the first person to admit it. I'll always say it. But the attention you get and the compliments that you garner with this are just phenomenal. I mean, seriously, they really are. I haven't come across a person yet that says, ooh, I'm not a fan of what you're wearing. This is a head turner. It is. And I hope to God they rethink that awful decision of discontinuing this and keep it around. I love it. I know many of you watching it and many of you in the community love it. And it's a great one. It's Paco Rabanne. It's 1 million. It's Privé. So out of Thursday, we come into Friday. Friday, I wore one of the most stunning, sophisticated gourmand fragrances I've ever put my nose on. It was in my top pickups of 2021 for a good reason. It is none other than Plum in Cognac, and this is by Scents of Wood. What a fantastic fragrance. I've spoken about this fragrance, gave it high praise many, many times on the channel. It's just gorgeous. It's woody, it's plum. I mean, the plum here is so lush. It's gooey. It's drenched in this cognac. Oh, this stuff is just, it's amazing. It's one that everybody should really try, regardless of the fact if you're into gourmands or you're not. You really should get your nose on this, seriously, especially if you're into boozy, woodsy, type of fragrances. If you like that combination of the added, the addition of plum there, you're going to love this stuff. Plum and Cognac is absolutely amazing. It's a bit on the sweet side. It's not overly sweet. It's not sickly sweet. It's perfectly blended and balanced to the way that it's just one of those fragrances that you're just going to keep coming back to, keep wanting to smell yourself. Wherever you spray yourself, thank God I put deodorant on this morning. You are just going to want to keep going back and smelling yourself. It's that addictive. And guess what? The people around you that you're going to be passing or that you're in front of, and they enter that scent bubble, pretend this is a full-size, regular-size human being, they're going to love the way that you smell. Plum and Cognac is just what it is. It's highly addictive, highly intoxicating, and a great wear. One of my favorite pickups of 2021, Plum and Cognac by Scents of Wood, a great one that I wore into the office. Friday. All right, so now we're moving on into the weekend, right? It's Saturday. Now we're talking this past Saturday, like just a couple of days ago Saturday, There was another package waiting for me, one that I picked up recently, and I could not wait to smell and get my hands on. Oh my God, is this stuff fantastic. I'm talking about the newest addition to the Zaharoff line. This is Royale X. Holy crap, this is so good. This, if you liked the original or even loved the original Royale, this smokes the original Royale. Like, no comparison for me. This stuff is fire. It is so, it's so good. It's so bright and fresh. And I love the twists and turns that this fragrance takes. And it's just, the developmental process of the composition is just ridiculous. Developmental process of the composition. I need to write that down. Non-scripted work. You never know what you're going to hear or I'm going to say, But anyway, we're so bright, so fresh. This thing it blew my mind. It was love at first sniff. How does this compare to Royale, the original? Well, in the top of the original Royale, it opens up with this citrus, lightly boozy, floral type of a thing that's going on. And some would even argue that it maybe leans more on the mature side. And that's kind of the vibe that you get throughout the entire life of the fragrance. And it is darkened a little bit by that signature pour Homme, the original, that DNA. However, this one is much, much different than Royale. Matter of fact, I would say you have about 5 to 10% of Royale's DNA that's sitting way, way in the background. Pushed up, what you get is more of a bright, fresh, invigorating, uplifting, mouth-watering citruses up top. Then as the fragrance starts to transition, you are going to notice there's some woods that are coming up, right? But again, that bright, fresh, invigorating, mouth-watering citrus top carries throughout the entire life of the fragrance to the point where I was smelling it hours and hours and hours later. Matter of fact, this performs very well on my skin. I got right around that 7 to 9 hour mark is where I was done, kind of paying attention. I was like, man, I'm just in friggin' heaven. Where this thing takes a turn for the best and where it just it screws with your mind. It really does. It really messes with your mind because you're thinking, where does this darkness come in? Because it's so bright, it's so fresh, it's clean, it's very refreshing, uplifting. What the hell? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're here with leather. You're here with vetiver, all these like darker, woody, all this stuff going on. And you're like, what in the hell? And then all of a sudden, this musk kicks in. Now, when musk is introduced, it comes almost all the way up to the forefront, at least on my skin. That's what it's doing. And what it does here is creates like this second layer of skin. It's so sexy. It really is. And it adds so much character and complexity to the fragrance. That's not only something that I love, but it's something that I really appreciate about this blend. It's very intoxicating, like I said, uplifting, refreshing, Also, very, very seductive. Honestly, guys, this is a great one to wear in the office because it's not overly seductive. It's seductive enough, and I'll touch on that in a second. Bear with me. This is perfect for the office. It's great for the office. I find this to be more versatile than the original Royale. This is going to be one that you could wear all year long. Now, I would say that when it gets hot, very hot days in summer, and it's humid and sticky outside, I don't know if I would pull this out in the day. Definitely summer nights. You're looking for a sexy time, sexy date night fragrance? Boom. Royale X is definitely the way to go. This is great. It has that mass appeal of factor to it in the opening, but then it gets darker as the fragrance goes, as the life of the fragrance, continues, but it never goes overly dark to the point where you're going to think, oh, this is only a fall winter fragrance. No, baby. You could rock this thing all year long, and I've been loving the hell out of Zaharoff's Royale X. Definitely check this one out because it's a limited edition, and it definitely should not be. This should not be a 1 or 2 run deal and then it's done. No, this one definitely deserves to stick around in the line forever or years to come, whatever the case is. This is just fantastic, and I love it. So to conclude the video, Sunday. I was in the mood to wear something a bit on the old school side. I wanted something very masculine. I was feeling woods. I wanted to experience damp patchouli, but I didn't want that damp patchouli to be in the 4. I wanted it to be in combination with other stuff. So I was looking for something that has a bit of complexity to it. I grabbed Héritage from Guerlain. Guys, if you don't have this, get it. If you love masculine fragrance with a bit of a classic touch to them, get it. I don't mind telling you to get that. You know why? Because it's 30 freaking bucks. It's right around the $30 range. This is the Eau de Toilette concentration. I almost said constellation. It's the Eau de Toilette concentration, and this stuff is just so good. It's woody. It has that bright citrus top, but it kind of fades, in that first half hour, that 40 minutes there. You get woods, you have pepper in here, you have rose, you have a bunch of different floral tones. You experience the floral tones, but they're muted. I wouldn't say they're at the 4 or anything like that. You have a lot of woods going on here. Pepper, as I mentioned, so you have a bit of a spicy, characteristic definitely going on, flowing, weaving its way in and out of the fragrance. You also have these woods, and it does give me, the impression or the memory of walking by a nearby stream, where the side of the stream is just kind of brushing up just against the earth, so you can smell that not dirt, this fragrance isn't dirty, but you guys get it. You have the dirt there, you could smell, that muddy characteristic. You have that mossy, that green mossy smell. You have that green mossy smell here. This stuff is just so excellent. It's an elegant fragrance, and one that I wore into the office. Why did I wear this into the office? Because it's one of those fragrances that I just love smelling because it's calming, it's soothing, relaxing. I said this in one of the office videos that I did in the past. I'm going to say it here. It is good sometimes to not so much think about what's mass appealing like Bleu de Chanel and things like that. Although, that fragrance in itself, one of my favorites of all time. Love it. Great fragrance. But sometimes it's nice to wear something that's for you mainly, you know? That's another reason why I wore this, because I find something, you know, I have an attachment to the outdoors. You know, I love being outdoors. I love going on hikes and stuff like that. You guys know that I've been around the channel. I've talked about it a bunch. That's really what I love about this fragrance. And it's just that damn good. And it's one that I just love smelling. And again, yes, admittedly, I wore this one for myself. But you know what? This isn't one that's going to choke people out. It's not offensive. It doesn't have this monstrous projection or this monstrous performance or anything like that. It's quiet. It's quiet. It's a tamed beast, if you will. 6 to 8, something like that on my skin, but it's just an absolute wonderful wear, and I love it, guys. If you guys are a fan of this fragrance, please let me know in the comments below how much you love this stuff. It's so good, timeless classic, one that, a woody spicy that I'll always have in the collection because, you know, I love it. I enjoy it that much. So, but yeah, guys, that's it. That was my week. I think it was a pretty diverse week for me. Let me know what you guys wore this week, what you thought of my selections here. If you haven't already, do me that favor. I would appreciate it. You know, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get reminded when I upload new content. I would appreciate that. And like always, guys, life's far too short. So come on, let's get on board. Let's love each other, take care of each other, and respect everyone. I love you guys. Thank you very much for spending time here with me today. You guys could have been doing anything else besides watching this video, but yet you clicked on it because you thought this was something that you would enjoy. And I hope you did, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon in another one. Till we see each other again, take care of yourself. Peace.